I've owned watches from many brands over the years. I've tried really countless brands at this point in reviewing watches on YouTube. So I've had quite a bit of experience, and there are three brands that I've yet to personally buy from that I think are underrated, that I think are undervalued, maybe underappreciated, that I would like to buy in the future. So I'd like to hear your opinion. If you agree with me, if you think I'm a little off base, or whether you think I'm totally crazy, please place it all in the comment section below. But first, the sponsor of today's video is Exquisite Timepieces. Exquisite is a family-owned AD in Naples, Florida. They carry over 60 brands. They have everything from Seiko Sports to Parmigiani Fleurier. They're a great place to go to if you want to trade in a watch on a new piece. If you're shopping Omega, Grand Seiko, Glashuette Original, Blancpain, you name it, they have some great brands. So I've linked them below. And now the third brand on this list that I think doesn't get quite enough love and attention or respect, that I hope gets more fanfare from watch collectors, would be Fortis. Now, Fortis was originally founded over 100 years ago. They are independently owned today, and they really specialize in doing very toolish sport watches. And so if you like divers and pilot pieces and chronographs, if you like overbuilt tool watches, I think you need to take a look at Fortis. Some of their watches have Canisi-made movements or the same movements that are supplied to Tudor. They do some really interesting stuff like the Werk 17 chronograph, which is a highly modified column wheel chronograph that was tested in the stratosphere of this planet, essentially in space. And I'll drop in some footage of this testing. But Fortis took a number of their different Werk 17s and they sent it to the stratosphere in a space balloon. And imagine these chronographs, the shift in temperature to go from, essentially the Arctic Circle on up to space, getting jostled about in this balloon, and then re-entering violently into our atmosphere and landing in the northern region of our globe, and then to be still keeping a reasonable time is very impressive. And I kind of geek out about that as a classic watch collector or watch nerd. I think that's really cool. So I'm impressed with Fortis. I think they do some really great sport pieces, and I would love to buy from them in the future. Now, coming in at number 2 is a brand called Carl F. Bucherer. Now, CFB they have history going back well over 100 years. And every time that I've reviewed one of their watches, I've just been straight up impressed at the details, at the quality, at the fit and the finish. I think they do some really cool original stuff. And I think the most impressive thing, just from my perspective, is the fact that they are a pioneer in peripheral technology when it comes to automatic movements. So instead of putting a rotor right in the middle, affixed to the bottom portion of a standard movement, they take the automatic winding mechanism, that mass, and they affix it to the periphery or the circumference of the caliber, and it rotates along the outer edge. And that way, it allows the movement to be thinner, to be more shock resistant, and it allows you, a watch fan, to look at the main plate and the finishing and the balance and all of the details of a mechanical caliber to an unobstructed degree. You don't see a rotor covering, half or a third of the movement at any given time. So I like what Carl F. Bucherer is doing, and coming in at number 1 as the brand that I think is just so impressive that I've yet to own, that doesn't get the fanfare, the love, and the attention that they deserve, is Glashuette Original. I love Glashuette Original. I love just the fact that they should cost more than they do. And they already, compete at a high price segment of the market. I've got one in for review right now. This is a CQ with an open case back. It's a new update from this German-made brand, and the fit, the finish, the engineering of the clasp, the hand finishing of the in-house movements, the detail work visible under a macro lens on the dial. It's just straight up amazing. And really, the quality with GO, if this was from another brand that had more name cachet, it would cost a lot more than Glashuette original charges. So I really like what they do. They are part of the Swatch group, but they are made in Deutschland. They're made in Germany. And again, so impressive. When it comes to my favorite piece from the brand, it has to be the 70s, but not the chronograph, just the panorama date on the bracelet. I think this is the best integrated stainless steel sports watch on the market. Sadly, it has been discontinued, so you have to buy this pre-owned on the secondary market. But I would take this 10 times out of 10 over a Nautilus, over a Royal Oak, over whatever stainless steel integrated sport watch you can think of, if everything was the same. If they were all right around the same price or had the same secondary market value. I think in terms of execution, design, just how cool it is, it's got to be the Glashuette. They did a phenomenal job, and I hope that they bring it back to a current production model. Now, here is the million-dollar question. Why haven't I bought from any of these brands? Why haven't many of you watching this video right now not purchased from any of these underrated companies? And I think I have an answer here. I'd like your opinion in the comment section below. But us watch collectors, when we have a watch budget, a lot of times we go with the watch brand that has been maybe in the forefront of our mind for a long time, say Rolex or Omega or Breitling or IWC, watch brands that have a lot of name brand recognition and cachet. So when we finally have saved our hard-earned money and say we have 10 grand to spend, a lot of times we go to Omega, we go to Rolex, we go to some of these wider known watch brands that we've dreamt about for years and years in some cases. And some of these newer found awesome hidden gem discoveries like Fortis and Karl F. Bucherer, and Glashuette original, they kind of take a backseat and we go, yes, I want one of these brands at the right time. And they're not necessarily going to the front of the line. And I think it comes down to brand perception and overall just cost. Is it within your budget? Let's say I did have 20 grand. I could buy my well-known Rolex GMT Master 2 and that 70s from GO. Not a lot of us have that type of means when it comes to watch collecting. So that's why I think some of these brands, they take a back seat and eventually we get to them, when in reality, we probably should get to them sooner than we actually do. But there is no real way of watch collecting that I think is proper and right for everyone. So I always say, buy what you think you would like the most, whether that's mainstream, whether that's indie, whether that's micro or vintage or used or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying this is probably why I haven't purchased from these brands yet, but I plan to do so, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm excited to see what these brands do in the coming year, what new watches or updates that they have planned for us, the most enthusiastic of their consumer base. Let me know what you think. Again, thank you to Exquisite Timepieces, the sponsor of today's video. I have personally bought from them many times over the years, so you're welcome to reach out to my own sales associate. I've linked his contact below. Tell him Bruce sent you. Like this video if you appreciated it, and if you want to help me out, please subscribe. That really benefits my channel, and I'll see you next time.